Hey everybody, so it's 6 o'clock on Wednesday. What is it, the 28th? We have 3 more days left in August, and I'm super excited. You guys have been so gracious in letting me record our little time here together. We lovingly call this call number 1. It's just a welcome call for you, so I'm really excited to have y'all. I'm Shelley Weeks. I'm an advanced director, and I am in the Northern California, kind of greater area in California, and I was delighted to finally meet you guys. I haven't gotten a chance, and Casey, I've heard all about you, but we haven't gotten a chance to meet yet. So this is awesome. So and then I've got Mary on the line. So if you guys could just tell each other a little bit about where you're coming from. I know we did that on messaging a little bit, but where you're located and what you're most excited about getting going as Pampered Chefs. Go, Maggie. I know you want to.
Well, so we are in the Pacific Northwest. We live up outside of Seattle. We're probably a ferry ride away from Seattle.
Okay.
We have a 16-year-old teenager that we'll probably never see ever.
Yeah, that age.
He's what he. But we have just the one child, and yeah, I mean, I'm excited because it's been something we've been thinking about for a while.
Have you talked to other Pampered Chefs, or you just were kind of doing this amongst yourselves?
I think we were kind of just doing it amongst ourselves because it's something that, you know, we just kind of, I don't know, I brought the idea up because I'd seen so many Pampered Chef parties going on. And I said, you know, honey, well, you know, I mentioned it to Sandy, my friend, and she's like, you and Casey would make a great team.
Oh, awesome.
And I was like, okay. So I talked to Casey, and yeah.
Yeah. Now we've had.
I got it. You go ahead.
Okay. Sorry.
No worries.
Someone in the back going on. Yeah. So we've been in. I've been in the Navy almost 18 years now. You know, and so something I'm kind of looking at to when I retire. And I love cooking as well. I do almost all the cooking at the house.
She's been raving about your cooking. So
oh yeah.
My husband was the cook.
Oh yeah.
She's the baker, right?
Yeah, she's the baker.
Okay, but my biggest question is, who does the dishes?
I do the majority of the dishes, actually. I hate clutter. So when I see dishes in the dishwasher,
oh my gosh,
I have to take care of it. I have to. So
don't come to my house. Actually, you're more than welcome. Okay, good deal. That's awesome. So you guys ordered your kit when? Because I just talked to Kat. She has you guys by a couple days, and hers just arrived. I'm trying to look for my notes here. Actually, I think I'm losing track. What a problem to have. So Kat got her kit ordered on the 22nd, and then you guys on the 26th.
Yeah. Yeah. As far as I know, I think it's been shipped already. I think is what we got the email notification already. So
love it. And which one did you get?
The bigger one. So the 259 one.
The one that's got the
ultimate, yeah.
The quick cooker and the rock crock. Super smart.
Mm-hmm.
Super smart. That's awesome. Marvelous. Okay, and so then, Casey, what are you most excited about?
I mean, making a little extra income would help for sure. And I love cooking as well, so just being able to maybe show off a little bit, you know. I'm not saying I'm a great cook, but it's hard to find something that you like doing and you can make money off of doing it. You know, most people, you know, work to live, you know, instead of live to work, you know. So it's very rare that you're able to find something that you like doing and still make some kind of money off of it as well.
Yeah, exactly. And you really hit it out of the park. You know, we tried to teach our kids that. I have your son is 16. My girls are 17 and a half, and she just messaged me, Mom, I got my senior pictures. So I'm like, oh, my baby, in a cap and gown, right? And Sid will be 20 in a couple months. So
oh wow!
Second year at Santa Cruz, and I was just fussing with my templates for online parties for the new season, and came up with pictures of them in their aprons when they were this big, and added those.
Oh,
Oh, it's just adorable. Pampered Chef aprons, right?
Nice.
Oh my goodness. And Mary and I have had such a great time over the last couple of weeks. You guys really have to connect with her. She has been jumping on every training opportunity. So she's a marvelous resource. So tell us real quick where you're based and what you're most excited about.
me?
Yes, you, darling.
Well, I'm a disabled widow, and I got twin boys, 37 years old,
Oh,
10 beautiful granddaughters, and no grandson. I keep bugging him, telling me you need to learn how to have a boy.
wow.
I'm excited because I sit at home and just stare at the TV pretty much, and now I actually have something to do and make a little extra money to where I can get myself a car, get my teeth fixed, and
Awesome. Awesome. You know, there's no greater thing. I have 19 years, just hit my anniversary a couple of weeks ago. It's my favorite part is finding folks who have, you know, unique and different stories and needs, and this can help. This can truly help. And that's brilliant. So, gosh, thank you guys so much. Miss Mary, appreciate it. And so you each want to friend each other. Be sure to do that. Okay.
oh yeah.
So the purpose kind of us getting together right now, really, we can do a lot, really just messaging and the groups that, and Maggie's probably like, you're adding me to all these groups and you keep asking me to introduce myself. How many times do you do that?
Yeah, well, you know, there's one thing I'd like to say to Casey and Maggie is definitely use the dash.
Okay.
Definitely. That is really an awesome tool. So is Shelley, but the dash really, it's an awesome tool.
But really, you know, I don't want to hold anybody back, because if you're, you know, trying to get a hold of me, and I have, like, next week, I think I have 6 or 7 different parties. One of them is in person. Those darn in-person cooking classes are getting in the way of my fun online parties. Yeah. So anyway, we could spin off into all kinds of directions. I'm going to try to make sure we stay on target. I want to be sure you know what Mary's talking about and Dash, and that how you get access to it and why it's wonderful. So that's one thing, kind of some first steps. I want to answer your questions, obviously. I want to help you kind of think through your first couple objectives and what your targets are. People ask me all the time if Pampered Chef has minimums and quotas and all that kind of stuff. And happily, I've always been able to answer that no, you get to go at your own pace. What Pampered Chef does instead, though, is they set these outrageously cool bonuses to recognize you and motivate you to take the right steps that lead to the strongest consultants. Over this many years, I've helped people get going, and I can see the signs of someone who's not going to necessarily make it because they're not doing the right things, and those who are. And I work with those who are closely. I give everybody the same opportunities, but it's those people who really, like Mary, boom, she's there every single time I offer anything, and that's huge. It means that I'm going to invest my time in helping her because she's there. So one of the most important things that I'll ask of you is that when life happens and things get super, super busy, please just shoot me a note and let me know. I mean, with me, my child's been in and out of the hospital. I've been in and out of the hospital. We've had all kinds of things happen. And there's nothing worse than just having somebody sort of disappear and you go, what? I don't know what's going on. And you could just have, life happening. So shoot me a note. Don't ghost us. It's not fun. There you go. Okay, so that was simple, right? But I want to be sure to kind of show you kind of what the process is for this first couple weeks. We consider your first full month is your training period. How fast you bang that out kind of moves you through that awkward, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on, Shelley, oh my gosh, stage, right? And that will happen. You're learning a whole new world of stuff.
It will.
Yeah. What do you want me to do? But so just to kind of make sure we're on the same page. So I hear that Casey is more interested in kind of doing more in person kind of cooking, because there's the world of sharing Pampered Chef in person. And then there's this whole online thing that has just exploded.
Yeah.
And the strongest consultants do a little bit of both. So kind of give me a sense of what you're looking for in doing with your business.
I mean, honestly, we could probably do both. So, like, the online, is it like something on like a YouTube thing, or is it like social media, or is it like a special thing that goes
It's in
out?
for some fun once Maggie adds them to a couple of the parties she's been to. How many have you been to, Maggie?
Let's see. I'm in my third one in the last 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Because it
Yeah.
was Sandy. Who was before Sandy?
No, I had Sandy, and then I had Raylene, and then I had Peggy. So I've had those 3. I didn't think to add you. I hadn't had a chance to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Peggy's ended today.
Yes. And she's doing unbelievable. In fact, they get, so Casey, to kind of fill you in, yes, I'd recommend some of both. And if you find that you're fairly comfortable with your cell phone, with copying and pasting, with following putting some systems in place for time, making things, once you do one party a week, you start to get some systems in place, and you realize, doing 2 a week really wouldn't be that bad. And then, oh my gosh, before you know it, you're doing 3 and 4 a week. And all of a sudden you're selling $2,000 a week, and everybody's going out of their minds. So I would recommend that we kind of use that to get started, and then you start booking some live in-person classes as well. Okay. Very, very good. And then for you, Miss Mary, I know the answer, but are you online or in person or both?
I'm going to be 90% online. I am going to do a little bit in person. I actually have a neighbor today who I've been trying to get to host a party, who came to me this morning and told me she wants to do a catalog one. Okay. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do a mystery house party at my house I'm going to set it up for the 14th of September.
Awesome.
Nice.
And who's your catalog show host?
Lori McComb.
Got it. And I'll just ask you that for names of hosts, so I know who the heck we're talking about. As I'm inviting you, like if it's not written down, it just doesn't exist. Okay, marvelous. So and that works out really great. We just talked with a gal in Lubbock, Texas, who's ordering her kit, and she's 23. She has a 3-month-old and a 3-year-old, and she was just, oh my gosh, this would save my life, because I'm housebound and I'm going out of my mind, right?
Yeah.
And it was perfect. And then her husband got lost his job. So.
Oh man.
No.
Yeah, no, but she's already started the process so that she can at least make up the gap in the meantime. So,
right.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So I'll tell you a little bit of the backstory kind of I got started in 2000. I'm a registered dietitian, and I was pregnant with Sid, and we were trying to close on this house right here, and my company went through a merger. And as they consolidated, I was the last man standing in our entire department trying to keep all those balls in the air as everybody else got laid off. Didn't know when my layoff date was going to happen, trying to close on a mortgage, get loan paperwork, and so stressful. And I said, never, never, never again. My mom and my sister both were new Pampered Chefs. If you're on our team page and you're seeing Ellen post, that is my mom. She's my mom, and I'm wildly proud of her. Between us, we've each just hit 1 million in career sales.
Wow.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah. And she's amazing. She's got the most loyal Pampered Chef. The lady, don't tell her I said this, but she can't hear, she can barely see, and she is a Pampered Chef freaking rock star around the whole country. So pick her brain if you get a chance. Say hi. That's Ellen. And
Ellen, when Shelley was at the doctor's and stuff, and I had a customer on a party that had a question, Ellen was right there to help me answer it.
Yeah, we have the best team. So I have been doing these live in-person classes pretty much exclusively real interactive. And I had foot surgery too. Both feet operated on last fall, and transitioned my business to online in order to make the mortgage. And I never looked back. I just never went back, right? So the process that we're teaching you, so yes, we're going to show you the website, and yes, we're going to show you Dash, but just as a little bit of this background, this online parties that you're seeing and going nuts, I only started these in June.
Wow.
That's it, in June. And the process that I'm teaching you is been done by this fella, and you'll keep hearing his name. His name is Stephen Joseph. And he was just last month at our national conference, he promoted to the highest level in our company, National Executive Director. First guy ever, and he did it in 3 years. And I have to tell you, most everybody else who's ever reached that level, and it's a small group of people, usually it's 15 to 20 years. I think we just recently had somebody accomplish it in 12, and she's on his team. So the point of that is that he went from consultant in 2016 to the company in 2019. 3 years, less than 3 years. And it is his system that we're following, that I started in June. One of my fellow directors started it in January and made several levels of promotion, you know. So yeah, you don't know what all this promotion stuff is about, but in terms of growth and opportunity, you could not be in a better spot. And we're, you know, I basically kind of taught myself starting in June, brand new, totally new system to me. Then we started getting all these recruits, then we started teaching them, and they're getting all these recruits, and it's just kind of exploding. And so, and here you are, right?
Nice.
So that's a very, very, very awesome thing. So we'll show you Dash and all that, but some of the other pieces that we're doing are coming straight from his playbook, and he's trained and trained and trained. I've got him recorded if you want to listen to that. So if you really want to see some astronomical growth, let me know so that we can make sure you. Okay. So a couple things. I'm going to share my screen. Yeah, I'm going to answer the phone. Good. Any questions so far? Got no worries. No worries.
Not yet.
Okay. Okay. You will. No problem. So have you guys been logged into Consultants Corner? Have you gotten that far?
Yes, so I did that. I kind of explored that a little bit after I ordered the kit.
Okay.
So I was on there and kind of played with it a little bit. It was like 10 o'clock at night, but that's okay.
Yep. Yep.
And then I brought it up today when I came and sat down about 5:15 with Casey, just to kind of show him like the Dash. And I think we did one of the first introduction video on the dashboard.
Cool. So far, so good.
Yeah, and so far so good. I mean, you know, and I was able to find how to order the blender.
That's important. Oh my gosh.
Yes, I was able to figure that out, which was really cool.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, and then I don't know about you, but I've been kind of just, it kind of comes up and I'm sitting there at work and thinking about it and trying to think of different things, and it's almost a little overwhelming sometimes, because then I'm like, that's all I'm thinking about is different things we can do, and you know, how we want to do a launch party here at the house, and and have friends around, and I mean, I think that's kind of the thing, in being able to do stuff that we love.
Sure. You work this into, I mean, you're cooking anyway, we might as well do it with friends. Oh my gosh, now we actually have a reason, a mechanism for that, right? Have a game night and, you know, do more social things, right? That's going to be a value for your friends, are going to love that. Yeah.
Yes. And that's hopefully the goal, is to be a little bit more on the social side, I think.
Perfect. Perfect. And I've been quite surprised at how freaking social it is in these online parties. And you just find these people who they're living their very best life in your online party. They're having so much fun, and, you know, and running around doing the kid stuff and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to share my screen, and then, so if Casey hasn't seen this yet, so we're going to kind of do that, and it might slow things down a smidgen on both our ends, but right now you're looking, I've got Facebook open, I've got Zoom open, I've got a whole bunch of things open, and I'm going to go over here and go to Consultants Corner, and I'll log out so that you can see it from brand new. So you go to, and Casey, the website is award-winning, and it is 99% of it will run beautifully on your cell phone.
Okay.
That is a really good thing, and super helpful for all of us. And mine sits here and says, you've got Zoom on and you're recording. What are you doing? So when you go to pamperedchef.com, right up here, you log in. It'll say sign in. Right now, mine says Shelley because I am actually still logged in. And then this is the home page, and the dash that we're talking about, it's this nice big purple thing that jumps right off the page at you. So you really want to, it's going to be super easy over the first week's days, as you're talking about, Maggie, to be distracted and to feel overwhelmed. And if you just kind of keep coming back here, and this actually launched just about a month ago, right at the end of national conferences when we went to Chicago. I invite you for next year. It is amazing. And they launched Dash, and really it's very intuitive. So what it's designed to do is, based on what stage you're at, it will put steps right in front of you. And these are like 5-minute little packaged bits of training, just bitty. And if you need more, you can click through and get more depth, but it's very well done. Would you say, Maggie, you're having fun with it so far?
I was when I was kind of looking through it and stuff like that. And then when we watched the first video, it was nice to kind of see, see what it was. And it was interesting to see the different, videos and stuff like that. In the first video, I mean, because I guess I had never really known how Pampered Chef started. Maybe that, and I never really knew that. So that was
that was interesting,
isn't it?
It is interesting to realize that, and I'll be honest, I was born in 1980, so I'm sorry.
All right.
But yeah, so it was kind of weird that's kind of how it when it started. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I remember as a kid being raised around Pampered Chef. Wow. There wasn't so many like as parties and stuff, but I remember going to these houses and realizing that they had these products that were just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And these spatulas, and I mean, we have a Pampered Chef spatula that we got from your grandma when she passed. And
oh my gosh!
Literally, I mean, it's chewed up on the sides, but it still works.
Yeah. Keep that. That's precious. I mean, yes. I have my grandmother's grater and stuff like that, and they're rusted and falling apart, but that's amazing. What a great story. Keep that one handy. Yeah, absolutely. Well, it looks like, and then when you come to National Conference with us, I'll introduce you to Doris Christopher, who started the whole thing around their table in their home out in Illinois. So looks like I just basically went into Dash, and as the person who is leading you, I have the ability to look, and really quickly, as you guys have other folks who you're inviting to come along and join in this journey, over the years, a lot of new people will say, oh, no, I'm not going to invite anybody else to do Pampered Chef. I haven't the foggiest idea what I'm doing. And I want to absolutely tell you that is the not the right way to think about this because of this. Right. This just takes them and leads them step by step. So, and you have, that's Pampered Chef pays me extra. I earn extra on everything that everybody on our team does to compensate me for the support that I give to you. And that's the way it should be, right? I'm vested in your success. But look at on the activity dashboard here, Maggie, you've been way busy. Check you out.
I have been. I was in kind of looking and playing and pressing buttons and links, and yeah.
Awesome. I love it. So this is great. So you're finding it kind of helpful. I'm really glad to see that. I'm still learning this, believe it or not. I know we have leaderboards and we have our team goodies going on here. And so here's Miss Mary, and she is trucking along 680 points. Rosario and Kate have just got her by a smidge. There's pitiful me with 180 points, but there's points and everything. And once you like set up your first party, boom, it'll say, okay, here's what to do next. And it really is very, very intuitive. So pay close attention to the notifications that you get now and give us feedback. Yeah, Mary?
I've been on Dash a lot more than what it's showing, but since I'm doing my own parties now, I've been going back and rereading stuff that I already went through to help follow steps.
Okay.
And that's one thing I like about Dash is I can go back, even though I already completed it, I can still go back to it.
Yeah.
That is nice. I didn't think that's actually nice. I didn't realize you could do that because that kind of would make sense, you know. We don't have memories, that we don't have things that we can memorize. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Where it is, and as you guys aren't experiencing anything different, you really can see, see it from a different perspective. So your feedback about it's going to be very valuable. And as I said, we've been so big. My team has been using it a lot, but I haven't that much. So I'm still getting used to it. But in the rest of Pampered Chef's website, as you get right in here, the monthly focus, which is right here, is a astronomically wonderful place to kind of just be when you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do right this minute? Maggie will tell you, I take the weekly action plan right here and I text it to everybody on our team. It really just gives you those time sensitive things to focus on, such as the fact that right now it's the 28th of August, and as we finish up the month, we have just a couple days left of that kit rebate that you guys have access to, right?
Yep.
So that's not like a permanent thing. That's just this month, and it's going to go away after. And for our purposes here on the West Coast, we're West Coast time. Everything runs based on Central Time out of Pampered Chef's headquarters in Illinois. So for us, 9:59 is always your deadline for anything you have a deadline for, because that's midnight in Chicago. So this will be August 31st. The kits are new and they will remain, but there will be a different offer starting September 1st. So if you run into somebody come Sunday and you're telling them, oh my gosh, you can get this kit and it's $259, and they go like, oh my gosh, $259. You go, yeah, but you can get it all back. Oh no, you won't by then. It's only if they get their kit ordered before the end of the day on Saturday the 31st. So no pressure whatsoever, but don't be that person who your best friend comes to you Sunday and goes, why didn't you tell me? Oh my gosh. That would be very, very, very okay.
Right.
So don't, and it's I've got orders coming in. It's got orders coming in. It's so much fun. Okay. Great thing. So it'll have the information on that monthly focus. Will kind of give you targeted things that you definitely don't want to miss out on, such as this one right here.
Yes.
So anybody who, whoopsie, where'd it go? Anybody who gets started in August, again, has the chance to get their cooking blender. And Pampered Chef's objective is to get that into as many of our kitchens as humanly possible. Come September, folks, your hosts will be able to get it at 60% off, which will be phenomenal, but that means they need to host a party. Consultants can simply just order it through Saturday night. And you ordered yours, right, Maggie?
I have it in the cart. I just haven't pressed submit yet.
Okay. All right, no worries. That's fine. So $140. It's now tax deductible. So keep track of all of your expenses from the moment you ordered your kit, because when Casey goes to make dinner tomorrow night and he's practicing any recipes, even if he doesn't have the tools, he's still practicing for your business. So keep track of your receipts going forward, and it transfers a great big chunk of your normal budget into a tax deduction, which you will love. Alrighty, so there's I kind of just save these things onto my phone and onto my computer at the beginning of the month, but the monthly focus is the place where you can gain access to them. Okay, so any questions about that? I'm not going to go any deeper into the website. What's that, dear?
Okay, now the mystery host party I've got going online right now, it don't end until the 2nd. Okay. So on the 1st, can they start ordering this, or does I have to stick with the August?
Okay, so that's a very important question. So as we're kind of talking about dates and time frames for everything, Maggie and Casey, this will be much more pertinent once you have those first couple parties.
Okay.
So just overview, don't let it get you, hang you up at all. But every month, as we approach kind of the end of the month, there's a couple dates that are relevant. Every month has got a host bonus and a guest special. And for August, for example, as I share my screen again, it's been really quite awesome. The August host bonus and guest special, I mean, 60% off of anything out of the whole catalog for your hosts in August, including a quick cooker. So it's been a big, big, big month. And the guest special has been with a $75 order. So Mary, for your purposes, you need to make a decision about what month you want to offer the specials. And if you set that party up with an August date as a start date, then it's the August specials that apply, and they won't be able to.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Yeah.
The September ones. But come September 1st, you can go in there and change the date. And then they do. So it's almost like you get a little bit of both. So you can kind of make that decision based on what you want, what your objective is, what your goal is. Is it orders in by the end of the month? But the other answer to you is that if you do have a party that's dated with the August specials, you have all the way till the 15th of the next month to use those specials and turn that in. You don't have to change it, but you can if you want. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I would start it with August, and because everybody's flipping out, in fact, you want to know to what degree folks are flipping out. This is a screenshot that I'm sending to some of my current hosts, helping them get going and pick a freaking date, because Christina, I think I see this. Christina is a host who picked her online party for September 6th, same date that Maggie and Casey are doing their launch party. She's been posting on Facebook and look at this. She posted on August 25th. I'm so excited. I'm having an online Pampered Chef party here on Facebook. She used the link to the interactive catalog that I gave her, and she included that. There are 32 comments on that.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I didn't have enough room on my little screenshot to show you them all. I can just tell you they're all like, me, pick me. And then she's got orders. She's got people going, okay, where's the catalog? Folks are, in fact, freaking out. Okay. And there's very good reason. Once you start using that blender and see the other new goodies, you'll get it. Totally get it. Yeah.
Well, and it cleans itself. That's a reason to buy it alone. It cleans itself.
We used it 3 times today already, and it's only, it's still not even the evening. Yes.
Well, she was drinking out of it yesterday with a straw.
I was.
I love it.
Oh yeah, well, gotta get it done while you can. Okay, so I've kind of filled you in a little bit about specials and where to find pertinent, timely stuff under the monthly focus. I've given you a little bit of info about Dash. I've shown you how to get into the website. Any questions about what we've covered so far?
I don't think so.
No, not yet.
Helpful?
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure Maggie, she was probably in it. She's the first time for me seeing it, so.
That's fine.
I just got all
I appreciate you being the new person. This is helpful for us. Okay, good deal. And I'm kind of trying to be sequential here. Normally we just sort of miss, but because I'm recording it, I want to be sure that for the folks who are watching, hi folks, that it's helpful. Now, I never ever will set your goals for you, with this one exception, because I want you to get as much as possible out of what's available for you as a brand new consultant. And there's a lot. So that's not the one that I wanted. Is that the one that we want, Mary?
Yeah, that's the one you want.
Oh, that's it. Okay, so does this look familiar, Casey and Maggie?
Yes, I think I seen that in a handout you sent me.
Okay, great.
I don't know if I showed it to you though.
No.
Oh, I didn't show it to him.
I'm going to highly recommend that you print a couple copies, one on the refrigerator, one on the bathroom mirror. Those are the, put one in the car if you're feeling motivated. But this is your roadmap for that first, the first kind of, you're a new consultant kind of for your first 90 days. We consider it for your first 90 days. In fact, here's a quiz question for you. You guys ordered, Maggie and Casey ordered your kit on the 26th. What's your 30th day? Do you know?
It would be 30 days from the day that we receive the kit in hand.
Yes, exactly. And I don't have it right in front of me right this second, but it's around probably into October, first full week of October, probably. Okay. When's yours? Your 30th day.
The 19th of September.
It's the 20th. You just got one extra day. It's September.
Yeah.
We're going to sit on August 12th, and her 30th day is September 20th. So see, it's a month plus. Pampered Chef wants you to be successful. The reason I make a point of that is go find out what that date is and fill that in on here. My start date, my 30-day milestone, your 90th day, because there are some rich rewards available for you. So as you get going, you're going to be doing parties. We got a launch party started for Maggie and Casey that starts a week from Friday on the 6th. I'm going to be walking you through that. It's a training party where you're going to get the host rewards, you're going to get the commission, you're going to get all the bookings. We're going to show you how to use that to develop your contact list and follow-up systems and all that. And as you progress along, when you reach your first $500 in submitted sales, you get the commission on that. But you also get a freaking ceramic egg cooker and a mini skinny scraper. Did you know that? Woo-hoo.
Nice.
Once you find out why that's awesome, you'll love it, Casey. And then when you hit $12.50 in sales, you're going to get one of our amazing new pieces of cookware, the nonstick fry pan, the 8-inch one. The handles remove, and it's dishwasher safe. And you can use metal on it. Oh,
right.
God. I know. Yes,
right.
you want more. And then when you hit your first $2,500 in sales, so and this is all within your first 3 months, then you get another piece of cookware, a 10-inch stainless steel nonstick skillet. And so it gives you the steps to do. You know, you're rocking along. When you hit 5,000 in sales, you get the knife block set with all the cutlery and the toning tool and shears on the whole bit. So Pampered Chef just has got this beautifully laid out for you. And the whole idea is that to play along, to keep yourself on target, every 4 parties you do, pretty much the rate that people they welcome one person to come and do Pampered Chef with us.
Okay.
Now you might do 4 parties in a week like I'm doing, or 4 in a month, or 4 in 3 months. That's your call. But there's rewards for doing it faster. And when you're doing those first few parties in that first month, you want to do as many as possible in that early stage because you're learning. You're learning how to submit parties, submit orders, all those steps. But you keep track right here, and you get $100 cash and 50 Pampered Chef dollars to get new other products and whatnot every time you welcome somebody within those first 90 days. So it's all laid out on here for you. There's a little dilly-mabob down here in the bottom that reminds you to keep in dash. But the part I want you to really to pay close attention to, it's this red box down here. It says promote to fast track director. Because for each of you guys who are brand new, there's $3,000 in cash bonuses that are sitting there on the table available for you. It's actually more, but we'll start with the first 3,000. Pampered Chef has set this up so that if you do what I'm training you to do, which is to not leave anybody out and invite everybody to either be a host or come and try this with you and not prejudge, just offer it. Because we're having all this fun, why not offer it to everybody else? When you invite somebody else to come and do Pampered Chef, and I'll sit with them just like this and show them the ropes. As soon as they hit their $12.50 in sales, you get $100 in cash. And once they're doing those steps as well, once you have 5 people who have joined you, you get a phone call and you're invited to be what we call a director. And Pampered Chef will give you $500 cash bonus when that happens. And that's in addition to those hundreds per each person that you already put in your bank account. And once you stay that level of the director for 3 more months, they give you another $500. And guess what? The people who you welcomed, we're training them and supporting them, and they're going nuts as well. If you have somebody who does that as well and they become a director, you go up another level, and Pampered Chef is going to give you $1,000 more, $1,000 more, and stay that level for 3 more months, and they give you another $1,000. It is quite lucrative. Okay, Maggie and I were talking. Maggie, you mentioned a couple people. I asked you if you had anybody you were thinking about who would have fun doing this and kind of the same boat, would like to earn some extra money. Give me just somebody's name so we can do an example. You can see how this will grow.
So, because originally the person I actually talked to was Peggy. When I was over at the Lula House one day, we were talking about it, and she was like, "Oh, it'd be fun to do," and so that's kind of how it kind of came about.
Sure.
Was with her, and then I know when I talked to her again, she just was, you know, the timing just isn't right for her right now.
And maybe it's not. Maybe that person, you don't even know who it is yet.
Right.
Maybe it's somebody who gets invited to your online party by a friend. You don't even know them yet. So let's pretend that it's Peggy or it's Sally, and who is like, oh my gosh, I was in the orthopedist office yesterday, and coming out of the office had I rarely wear Pampered Chef stuff, but I happened to have a bag that said Pampered Chef, and the receptionist practically drooled on the countertop. Like, no way. Now, I've known this lady for a year, shame on me. And she was like, oh my gosh, really? You do Pampered Chef? Really? She is so excited. She's picking her kit right now. She's probably starting her launch party the same week as you guys.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you don't even know who those people are. You just like, you know, it will hit you. You'll have stories like that. So let's say it's Peggy, just for pretend. And let's say that Peggy picks her ultimate kit, gets her blender, and she's on it and she's going, and we're having this conversation with her, and she has a couple other people and whatnot. Let's say that you get those 5 folks and you're collecting your $500, and she has her 5 folks and she's collecting. So Peggy, right? Let's say you recruit Peggy, and Peggy goes nuts, which we know she would because it's Peggy, right? And she promotes to director. You promote to the next level. It's called advanced director. So the director level I'm talking about right down here, you invited Peggy. Peggy's going to get a $500 bonus for promoting to director. And guess what? So do you, because you invited her.
Wow.
Peggy stays a director for 3 more months, gets another $500, and so do you, because you invited her. Let's say Peggy goes cray-cray and props up and has another person do that under her. She gets $1,000, and so do you.
Wow.
Are you following the explosive nature that this could take? You could be earning a $3,000 for yourself, then $3,000 for Peggy, and $3,000 for Sally, and $3,000 for Jeff. This is huge.
It's pretty huge, yeah, you're right, absolutely.
Okay, I'm drawing this out and being really specific because I don't want you to miss this in the flow of huge amounts of information that's going to be coming at you in the next couple of weeks.
Right.
Keep this at the very top of your, that's why I said print it out. There's another thing about the fast track to director. This really only shows the first 500. But I will send you something that's shows the whole picture, okay?
Okay.
And it's only available in the first 3 months, 3 to 6 months, and then you graduate out of having this ability to get that until you're welcoming other people who do this within that first 3 months. So it's designed to give those people who are rocking it some real cash incentives.
Right.
Okay. If I had this when I was getting started, I'd be a multi-gajillionaire, but it wasn't in place. So that's fine. I'm really glad you guys have access to it. But that's okay. I mean, I welcome Maggie. If you guys promote to director, I'll get that $500 bonus, but I'll be super happy that you get that $500 bonus and more. Okay.
Right.
So we're putting a lot of emphasis on that because that's cash.
Yeah.
They have bonuses and what we call PC dollars that are good for products and whatnot, but this is actual cash that can mean that Christmas you'd have no bills coming in January. There'll be nothing in the mailbox, and you'd be sitting there going, oh my God. So I really want you to think of, so any questions about this?
Well, I know, like Shelley was saying, you never know who. My cousin hosted a party off of my party, and then I signed up, and one of her guests from her party signed up under me. Yeah. I don't even know the girl.
Oh, wow.
Wanted to get
so you never know, like Shelley said, where it's going to come from.
Yeah.
Right. It could come from anywhere, essentially. It could come from, well, and I think that's the thing, even with like doing a launch party. I know I have quite a few on Facebook. I know you kind of do. You need to get more on Facebook now.
Everybody's going to be my friend.
There we go.
That's right.
But you're right. You think about that, where you have that base of people in your Facebook, and you don't realize that they're inviting people, and they may have people that, you may have someone that says, oh, I really need this. I really, oh, I really want to do this. And you just may never know.
Yeah. Well, they're liking and sharing it, and
right.
it really, the live parties, the hosted parties and stuff like that. But really, I think where this thing really excels is probably with the online, obviously, because you can touch a lot more people doing that versus face to face with somebody else,
Yeah, and I don't want to discourage cooking in person, because you do need that. You need, that face to face.
Word of mouth, yeah.
So you can do both. But even for my in-person parties, we set up a Facebook group, because in general, you invite 40, 50, 85 or more people, and about 1 out of every 5 will actually be there to cook with us. What happens to those other 4? Back in the day, it used to be you counted on the host to connect with those people who said, no, I can't come, that's a bummer. Sometimes they just leave it at that, but you count on the host to go, oh, well, let me get you a catalog, or do you want to have your own party? Whereas you're the pro, you know how to do it. So if you set it up in Facebook, we can communicate and share the fun with all those people who can't make it physically cook with us. What happened in my business is I would go and cook with folks, and there'd be 2 people there, but there'd be 50 in the Facebook group. So we'd hit the button on the phone, and we'd do our cooking via Facebook Live right into their group.
That was going to be one of my questions, is has anybody done that? Because I think for us, it would be great to be able to do those lives, because that's a big thing right now, is to be able to do a live cooking thing where, we may have a couple people here at the house, but we have more people online watching. So
yeah, and you, the first time somebody says to you, oh my gosh, I was at the gym and I was on the treadmill, but I was able to participate, I was so excited because you included me. You'll see the power of that. So,
matter of fact, when I had my party, Shelley went live and made salsa.
Ooh, yummy.
Yeah.
Nice.
So there's lots of possibilities. So what's going to happen is you're going to pop awake at 3 in the morning, go, oh, I can do this, I can do this. Capture those ideas when they hit you. Keep a notepad on your nightstand. It gets really, really fun and exciting. And if your new job is keeping you awake at night because you're so freaking excited, I would ask you, when was the last time your job kept you awake at night because you were so freaking excited?
Right.
So
that's true.
That's a problem that you'd want to have and want to be able to give to somebody else too. So, okay, so there's that. In terms of your party next week, and Mary's mystery host that's going on right now. So I would recommend, so we've got Maggie scheduled, and I'm going to be treating you like I do all of my hosts.
Okay.
So that you can see it from that perspective, and then I'll kind of like step out of host coaching mode into consultant coaching mode periodically. So there will be a lot that you experience over this next week because you're playing both roles starting the 6th. Okay.
Right.
And just remember, I know that your biggest concern was time management and where do we fit this in, and I do get that, and I'm sensitive to that. So you guys have to communicate with me and let me know when, like, okay, no, we cannot do this right now, kind of thing.
Okay.
And we'll figure it out. We'll just figure it out. Okay. But that first couple of weeks, there's a lot of learning going on until you get your, I think, Mary, I was in touch with you and Brittany both, like on a daily basis. And then all of a sudden, Brittany just fell off the face of the earth. She's off and running. She's just off and running.
I saw that today, yeah.
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 So some folks need more hand holding and some don't, and some want it and some don't. So you kind of just give me some guidance. But I will show you the pieces that I do and the steps that I'm doing for your party. I'm going to set it up and run it, and then by the next week, hopefully you'll kind of feel comfortable enough to run your own. In general, here's how this works. That you, for online parties, that is, Casey, for online parties, they start the system that we have set up, and we're all doing the same thing so that we can share our resources, but they start on Fridays. Friday and Saturday is what you call a two pre-party days. It's all about, Maggie's experienced this 3 times now. It's all about interacting and building relationships with the people who are coming. We have a brand new gal who has one starting Friday, and she's got 65 people who have clicked the button to say going. I'm going.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, she is just so a Twitter. She is so excited about it. And then you've got other parties where there's 20 or so, and mine too that are starting this Friday. They've got 5. So I have those times too where I have to kind of like prop up those parties. We're looking at averages. But in general, if you're talking to people and you're saying, it's booking these first few parties is fairly simple, because you can be talking to people now and saying, I have an opening for the 6th, or I have an opening for the 13th. Now your party's on the 6th, right?
Right.
Okay. The way that your launch party works is you get as many hosts as possible scheduled for the 6th. We add them into your group, and up at the top I'll say, I'm here and I'm Maggie and Casey's mentor, and I'm helping them. And so Maggie's a host, and here's her link. And Sally's a host, and here's her link. And Jane is a host, and here's her link. We can have as many hosts in there, and it becomes a multi-host party. One group, multiple hosts, all of their respective people, and you watch. It goes nuts because there's so many people in there. And I will be managing it because I know how to do that, and I'll be guiding you and giving you steps to do and whatnot. But that's the best, most efficient thing, is that you'll schedule, 1 to 15, as many hosts as you can connect with to get started with their parties on the 6th, and I'll get them going. And they're yours. They're your parties. And then if you've got somebody who doesn't want to do it on the 6th, maybe they just want to attend, they'll be sitting there on the 7th or 8th going, gosh darn it, I should have started my party on the 6th. This is But then you stack them up and you start them on the 6th and you start filling it in. I'm going to show you guys how I got started in June. Okay. And then I'll stop because we've filled a lot of your brain, but this is my little system for keeping track. Super high tech. I will send you this little form. Did I show you this? Did I show you this, Maggie?
No, I have not seen this yet.
Okay. So this is a Stephen Joseph tool. Okay, I'm going to hold it kind of closer. Date up at the top, the week of. Right here it says Kathy and Tommy, but this says June 10th. I got started doing this system June 10th, and this sheet was full of people that I had invited. Basically, I'd said, hey, I'm trying something new, online parties. Are you interested? I sent out an email to my customer base. Kathy and Tommy said yes. Everybody else said they didn't respond or whatever. And this was blank except for their names. These 2 guys were my first hosts. They started on June 13th. Okay, so maybe it was the 17th or whatever. You split the page, and that's Kathy and Tommy. The highlights are people who booked parties. Okay, and the whole idea is that when you talk with somebody and you offer them a book, you need to kind of do it a couple times. Maggie's been to 3 parties, and you guys were thinking about it until just a couple days ago. Maggie's on my list, and I've got the date. First date, Maggie. First date I talked with her. Second date I talked with her. Third date, 4th, 5th, 6th. There's like 5 or 6 columns. You want to keep track of who you talk to, because it's not going to be the first, second, third time you talk to them that they say yes. It's going to be the 4th, 5th, 6th, etc. And that's what happened. I started out with my people, and then Tommy and Kathy's people who they invited to their party. Yellow is bookings. And down here, yellow is recruits. Watch what happens. This was that first week. This was the second week with still Tommy and Kathy. Okay, they had a lot of people. Okay, this is the next week. Now we're up to June 21st. 2 new hosts, and I only did 2 a week the first couple weeks. 2 new hosts the next one. These are bookings. These are people I still need to get a hold of because I haven't talked to them enough. But this was the next week. Now we're up to July 1st. Now we've got some people signing up. Okay, this has been my little system. These are bookings. These are recruits. And you just keep tracking. You make sure that 25 spots on this for a week. You saw the first week I needed pages. Some of these weeks I needed more pages.
Right.
But this is how I keep track. And out in the margin, I'll put either me or I'll put the initials of the host for that week. And that way I can just see at a glance whose party I met them from. Because Maggie, I'm so sorry, but you're amongst 1,000 people that I've talked to in the last 2 months.
Right.
I know your name now, but I had to put SH for Sandy right beside your name in order to remember who the heck I was talking to.
Yeah.
Okay. And we have welcomed 10 people, and we're about to add 5 more.
Wow.
Now, maybe recruiting is not your thing, but this at least helps you keep track, and you don't have somebody who goes, you know, she asked me, but then she didn't follow up.
Right.
So I do recommend, it's a very paper, non-techie system, but I just keep adding more blank sheets, and I'm, you know, it's working.
It's work. Yeah. Well, I think sometimes it makes it more personal too, because you know your own handwriting, you see it, you know where to find it. So it kind of makes it more on I think the personal side.
Yeah.
What do you think, though? What's your opinion on it?
No, I mean, as long as you got some kind of system that works, you know, I think that's really what the biggest thing. You know, either you do paper, or a spreadsheet or whatever. You know.
And I'm with you. I've got everything else that I have is some sort of electronic thing. In fact, the details about these people, their address and name and who I know them from, all those details, those are all in Evernote, which I'm gonna show you. And if that's something that you use and love, then you're in good hands, because I'm the Evernote person in Pampered Chef. But that system has worked out really, really well. So is that helpful?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what do you do now? You print out a dozen of those pages and staple them together, write today's date at the top, and you start talking to people, and you write their names down when you engage with them. It's not just the list, it's the list where I made contact.
Right.
Okay. And it's as simple as, hey, I'm starting to do online parties with Pampered Chef. I've got an opening for the 6th or the 13th. Does that sound fun?
Right.
That's it.
That's it.
And you copy and paste and you send that to 20 people. That's what I did.
And you're very busy now.
Okay. All right. Questions. And I'm going to ask you in a second. We invested an hour of our valuable time, and I hope that this is valuable, but I do want to hear what were oh my gosh, of all the things I shared, what were the things that were the biggest, most powerful, most helpful for you that are going to help you move forward?
I don't know. Like for me, so the online aspect of it, you know, I think has been pretty eye-opening, honestly. You know, you have that little the thing that you had up is like the path as went along and stuff. You know, that was pretty helpful too. Just kind of let you know like where your goals are, what you need to kind of set yourself to. You know what I mean? For me.
Good.
You are very goal-oriented.
Maybe, and it sounds to me, Casey maybe wasn't thinking as much online initially, but maybe we kind of lit a fire, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's the thing. I mean, I was thinking online. I mean, I was thinking kind of like online with a hybrid, but the more kind of for me was like maybe really online is kind of the way to go.
And you don't have to pick one. And you can merge them like we were talking about. And that'll be a fun thing to learn and to practice and play with is you set up an online party and you say, hey guys, on Saturday night, we're going to make dinner and we're going to pop open the phone and do it via Facebook Live. And I don't know what I'm doing, but it's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
And you're cooking and doing that.
Right.
Okay.
Good. I think for me, that's kind of a big thing is to be able to do that, because for me, it's all about that connection with people. And I'm just a natural smiler. I'm a natural person. I'm not going to deny at work. That's all everybody ever says is they walk in, they just see this, I don't know. And they just see this person that they can, talk to. And, that's probably why I'm where I'm at. So for me, that's kind of where that comes in a little bit, is to be able to have that kind of personalized,
that's lovely.
Be able to, be right in front of them to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
The whole live thing will be interesting.
It's a little unnerving the first couple times. So you do it with your friends and, safe space. Make a group. Actually, I'll show you how to make a business group, but you're going to make a VIP group that's just for your special, closest Pampered Chef friends to start with. And then you start adding to it and becomes kind of a special place for you to share, and for people who are super excited about Pampered Chef to get these first. And that's where you'll go live and kind of stuff. So we'll show you that too. Very good. I didn't show you one piece of this. So here's this. And I had on another smaller piece of paper, I would set up a month. So this is August. The posts across the top and the Friday start dates down the side. And
I was going to mention that.
Thank you, Mary. You got to keep me on track. And so you do one for each month going forward. I'd set them up through October, November, December. But and it's, again, not high tech, but at least at a glance, you can see those Friday start dates and who's scheduled in. And that way if you've got spots open, and you can tell people, hey, I've got one spot for the 6th, one spot for the 6th, and a couple for the 13th, but the 20th is full, and so does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it just kind of evolved to me doing it right here on the back of this. So there's October, it's already starting to fill in, and I don't even have November made, but I need to do that.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that's a great feeling, huh? And I was not booked. April and May were very, 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 very piddly. I had to do something different, and I'm so glad that I did. People have been telling me from other consultants, directors, was like, you have got to do this. I'm like, yeah, right.
Hey, I got to show you guys something. Look at my owie. Those Pampered Chef knives are sharp. I barely tapped it on my finger.
Yeah.
They are sharp.
When I was cutting up dinner tonight. They're sharp.
They are sharp. They are sharp. We actually have a set that I got from a friend of mine. I bought off her. She used to be a consultant. I don't think she is anymore. And we've got those when we were overseas. So we've had them about probably 8 years.
Longer than that. I think we've had them close to 10 years. I think we got them in 2008, maybe 2009.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
So we've had them for quite a while, and I'm not going to deny he loves them. He thinks they're the best thing in the world, and
great.
He hones them and does all his things.
So the black handle, silver, stainless.
Black handle.
Yeah, you are going to utterly freak out when your kit comes, because I think there's a forged cutlery knife in there, and we just redesigned that set after 10 years of them being stellar, and they improved them.
Oh, yeah.
They tell you.
Now, my husband, he ordered those knives from a friend's party, and I wasn't allowed to touch them. He didn't trust me. They were up. Because my husband was the cook in the family. He taught me how to cook.
Aww.
So he would never let me touch. He bought me my own little cheap set.
So we'll wrap up, but just real quick, Mary, what was the one best thing that you got from our time here together, our call today?
I would have to say, for tonight, I would have to say learning how, how to communicate with my consultant under me.
Okay.
Because you remember I was telling you I couldn't get her to respond to me.
Yep.
And now.
All right. Well, I'm going to thank you guys so much. I'm going to turn off the recording, and you guys did amazing. And I'm really looking forward to working with you and seeing us, all of us, go great guns on this coming season. Thanks so much.